streaming thing on the Twitch with the streaming and the glavin and the hey. Are we streaming on the Twitch? Streaming on the Twitch. We are indeed. Okay. Dementia Radio now and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
So we will hopefully have a Steve Goodie joining us.
We will. Steve says he's having some technical difficulties, but he should be joining us shortly. And we have pre-recorded interviews with Insane Ian and Carrie Dalby coming up later in the show. In the meantime, welcome to episode 780 of the Funny Music Podcast for Thursday, May 29th. Title of this week's episode is Next Reward. And you know what to do.
So your next reward is me telling you that the lag is so slow that the Zoom has now told me that Tom Rockwell's network bandwidth is low and your image is now smaller on the screen than normal.
Oh, really?
So that's the next reward you receive.
Wow. Oh, you said it again.
Me saying it again was the next reward after the previous award that you had just gotten.
I could do this all night.
So could I. But we have two pre-recorded interviews to get to, which are astoundingly special because I'm in both of them.
Yes. Normally, I don't even bother trying to schedule Luke because it's usually such a and my bandwidth is down to 0. Hey, I love Comcast. Everybody did a Comcast. Usually it's just such a last minute thing. It's like, hey, you free to record now? Yeah, we're free to record now, and then we'd go do the thing. But anyway, let's do this thing.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, I also... you're hanging out in, the what chat rooms are you normally in when you're doing this live?
I'm on Discord in the Dementia Radio server in the general.
Okay. So, because from where I'm sitting, I know that you're recording it directly on your computer, so I assume your recording is fine. But yeah, from where I'm sitting, your audio is kind of getting choppy too. So I don't know. I just want to at least acknowledge that to anyone who's watching or listening live.
The video, I will pull off of YouTube, so the video will be fucked up, but the audio is being recorded locally, so the audio will sound good regardless. That's why when the video stops entirely and I have to piece it together from the multiple videos that end up on Twitch, I put this graphic up in the middle, but I swap out the audio with the local recording so that I don't, those gaps aren't missing the audio.
So, okay. So what have I been up to over the past week? Well, Kalani started her, she's in her third cycle of chemotherapy, so she went in for her third chemo session. Her third out of the first 4 being the more intense version of it. And then after the 4th cycle ends, she'll start the weekly version of the less intense, the weekly chemo of less intense chemo is what I'm trying to say. And now there's a kitty. Hi, buddy. So she had that. It went well. It took about 4 hours or so. We also Kalani, ever since I met her, has been wanting to move into a better apartment that's owned by the same company that owns her current apartment complex, just one of the other ones in her immediate area, because she lives in a one-bedroom apartment on the 3rd floor. And for a one-bedroom apartment, it's just, it works, but it's, she has more stuff than She has like tons of unopened Lego sets, and I mean like the fairly large ones. So
like that.
So she wants to get a place with like a second bedroom. So
no,
that
that's an
she
open
has
set.
Placed.
Oh, plus it fits in my hand.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Sorry.
We have a Steve Goodie now. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Hi. Wow, there's quite a lag here.
Yeah, there is. Sorry,
I don't
my
know what my
bandwidth
problem
sucks.
is with the tech. I think it's my end too. I don't know what the hell's going on. So hi.
And this one doesn't count, Devo, but the title of the episode is Next Reward. So if you figure out a way to work that in, you can make him have to push a button. So
Again, he's already said it 3 times.
So anyway, so I went around with her and looked at some apartments that she could potentially move into. She was actually planning on moving like this year. Like she would have been moved by now, probably if it weren't for the fact that she got cancer and had to deal with all of that all year. We looked at some places and she figured out where she would like to move into, like what apartment configuration that is. So when she actually is able to move into a new place sometime in like November, December, or January, she can contact the company that owns all these places and say, okay, I'm looking for a first floor unit of this configuration. And the main reason she's waiting is because she wants to get to the point where she's past chemo and back at work at her job long enough to know that that like some crazy person might start making tariffs happen, and then that would completely screw up everything in the world and make stock prices drop and lead to layoffs at places. So
I thought you said firstborn unit, and that would make them more expensive too.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a pun just now, and I completely blanked.
There's nothing appropriate. Nothing at all.
If I would have thought of something, that would have been the born supremacy.
Lady.
And speaking of cheesy jokes with puns, I also stuck around, and we waited until it was like basically about the time the sun went down to go out to the Disney parks, because they have a new nighttime projection show called, it's generally called World of Color, but the new show is called Happiness. But the pre-show for the show is a new thing that they filmed with the Muppets to basically be the safety announcement. So, and it's supposed to be going all summer, but I'm like, all right, well, it's a Muppets thing. I want to see it immediately, because it's one of the very few things Disney has done to acknowledge the fact that the Muppets turned 70 this year. Because that's the thing that stinks, is that Disneyland opened in California the same year the Muppets started.
Wow.
So the anniversary of Disneyland is always going to be the same year as the anniversary with the Muppets. And now that Disney owns the Muppets, they will never make the Muppets anniversary more important than Disneyland's anniversary. So even 5 years from now, when it's the 75th, it's still going to be about the 75th of Disneyland instead of the 75th of the Muppets, but whatever. There has been some cool stuff going on, like Kermit was a commencement speaker at the college where Jim Henson went. And
yeah, that was
a lot
very
of
cool.
Of that going around. So anyway, yeah,
I enjoyed that.
So anyway, back to what I've been up to. Anything else significant? I went to see my pulmonologist so that he could look at the data from me using the sleep app machine to tell me how I'm doing, and he says I'm doing good, and then I should keep using it. So that's a thing. I get to, hook the, Mr. Frump's iron lung up to my face every night and, get eight hours of exercise while I sleep. So
If only some of us had songs about that.
Yes, songs that could get nominated for awards.
And I meant Carla's, which I think is funnier. But yeah.
Oh, okay. I think this particular FuMPCast Live contains all of the cumulatively the top 3 nominated people for the Logan Awards, and also the top 3 award-winningest people of the Logan Awards. I think
Possibly, yeah.
All for no extra price. It's amazing we don't charge more for this.
I know, right?
So, and just other than that, just been getting my crap together here at the apartment so that I can spend all my spare time working on my animatic, which I've actually been able to work on the past couple of days. So hooray for that!
Cool.
But that's all I've been up to. What have you been up to out there in the land of low bandwidth?
Well, speaking of unopened Lego sets, I got this for Christmas and haven't had a chance to open it yet. And the funny thing is, I got this same set for Jen for Christmas. Darren got me this, and I got it for Jen. And this thing is wild because when you put it together, there's a crank on the back, and like Yoshi goes up and down, and the feet move, and like his tongue comes in and out, and like there's like a whole gear system going on with this thing. It's pretty impressive.
I can see it.
You can't see it?
I can hear you, but you're frozen.
I'm
frozen. There you are.
Can you see?
Yeah, I saw this last time.
Yeah, you guys see that?
Yeah, now we see it.
Thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh wait, I saw that at Keith Rose's house. Not at your house. Keith Rose has the same thing. It's really
cool. Yeah, it's wild. Jen has hers together, and it's really neat. Anyway, what I've been up to is today, Darren and I went down and picked up his car. So Darren has a car now. And
how old is Darren?
Darren is 19. So
okay, that works.
Yeah, he's been wanting one for a little while, and I told him, don't rush. You have all the time in the world. You have all summer. You don't absolutely need one. So take your time, get a good deal, get a good car. He got a 2016 Prius, and we, fingers crossed, did not get screwed on this one like we did with Connor's car. But no, I think this one is good. The dealership was much better. The guy we dealt with was great. And I'm watching my bandwidth tank as I talk. This is going to be one of those episodes I have to piece together.
I can still hear you.
But anyway, the great thing about Darren having a car is that I no longer have to drive him to work at 7 a.m, so I can sleep tomorrow morning. So that's going to be good. Other than that, I released a new short for Snack
Team
Bar.
is definitely sleep.
Yeah, that went up the other day. I'm going to be doing another one next week for the Lower Decks verse of What's Up, Spock. And I finished my Patreon migration, which I'll talk about more during the news. So it's been a busy week. So, Steve, what have you been up to?
I've been generating graphics for my Edinburgh run, and I, unlike you people, can't do art. It's so hard. But little by little, with the help of some very talented people. I don't know why they help me, but they do. I think that's about. Oh, I'm doing my show and I'm back in Nashville after being on the road for a million weeks.
Is the tour finally done?
That's all I can remember. Tour is finally done. As everybody across America breathes a sigh of relief. Yes, he's done.
Steve is far away now. Yay!
Let Scotland have him.
When do you head off to Scotland?
I will head toward the UK on July, I should know this, 22nd. But I will stop in Scotland for one day, then run over to Ireland, do a bunch of stuff there, and then back to Scotland from July, I think, 28th till August 26th, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Something like that. So, like 6 weeks of doing the virtual comedy show at 3 a.m.
Nice. It's going to be great.
Time zones are my friend.
Yeah.
Just have a whole lot of Guinnesses there.
There'll be Guinness. There'll be a record number of Guinnesses.
Hey, now.
Boy, this delay sucks.
Yeah, it does. All right, so give us a quick intro to this song, and we will give it a listen.
In an hour. Okay. For Barrett Hansen's 83rd birthday, I wrote him a song. It went quite well, so I thought, hey, I'm going to do this again. So I did.
Here is He's Barry, He's Dr. D by Steve Goodie.
A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. When comedy is done musically, it needs a disc jockey. 'Cause we'd be cheesed if we got Rick Dees on repeat every week since the 1980s, and he's no John Cleese. But who should be the DJ? He'd need a pedigree, preferably. He'd be scholarly, in music a theory, with a tendency to go tee-hee. Singing.
A la-dee-dee, a 1, 2, 3. He's Barry, he's Dr. D.
In all the keys, that's
A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. He's Barry, he's Dr. D.
Whoopee! Is this devotee of Jimmy Durante with his degree in ethnomusicology some freak for geeky parodies?
No, it's Barry, he's Dr. D.
Is this song silly? May we see?
Certainly, it's for Barry, he's Dr. D.
He's played my idiocy since 2003.
Merci, Barry, you're Dr. D.
Actually, since 2001, but that doesn't rhyme. We love this broadcast deity. He knows what's exemplary and what's debris. His work will live eternally.
Thanks, Barry, you're Dr. D.
You introduced me to George Carlin.
Most definitely.
And the Smothers Brothers and Richard Pryor.
Unmistakably.
And Judy Tenuta and Sulu.
Unequivocally.
And Tim Cavanaugh and Barnes and Barnes.
Indubitably.
And what's his name? You know, with all the hair?
Unquestionably.
Oh yeah, Weird Al Yankovic.
Get a colonoscopy.
Every 10 years.
You're Barry, you're Dr. D.
The end. Cause
Every Sunday night we hear you say Dementors and Dementites, remember to
Stay demented.
we love you, Dr. D. Okay, that's really the end.
Yeah, that's really the end. Yeah. So when I was prepping for the show tonight, I toyed with the idea of taking the video from Sulu's house concert of you performing this song and putting it to the studio recording. And I probably could have cut back and forth between you and Bill Larkin on piano and made it work, but I just didn't have the time. So I just took a still
Sounds
shot
like a lot
instead.
of effort.
Yeah. I could have done it if I had the time.
Your
but
bandwidth sucks.
didn't have the time. Yeah, bandwidth.
The
sucks
bandwidth
anyway.
wouldn't have allowed it anyway. So.
Right. Yeah.
So I wanted to know, is that Stay Demented taken from an episode of the show, or did you specifically get him to record that for you?
I was just going to ask.
Let's say yes, for legal reasons. I might have done that. I don't know. Hard to say. It's all a big blur. I do remember that recording that song. I did it in the same key that Monty Python did it, and John Cleese has famously said, "Don't make me sing, don't make me sing," and he sings that song, and it's the lowest key possible because he's
also kind of speaking most of it.
yeah, but when you get to the singing part, it's ridiculously low, and I don't know why.
It was probably easier.
I also
for
wanted
him
to point out this
sing.
is the second.
Yeah.
This is the second parody of the song "Eric the Half a Bee" on the
Really?
Fump.
Yes.
Yes.
Man, I can never win.
There was a well, I mean, this was like so long ago. It was I know that Chris Mezzalestis sang the song. I can't remember if it was a Power Salad song or if it was Money Shot Cosmonauts, but it was about Sarah Huckabee. So it was Sarah the Huckabee. So that's how long ago it was. But
Still applies.
yes.
I need to remember, check with Devo. Check with Devo. Oh,
That
Well,
was
you
a
know, there's no.
that was a Money Shot
Wait, what?
Cosmonaut song from 2018. So
Yeah.
it's not that long ago.
no. Trump's first term.
It's one pandemic ago. It's not that long ago.
It was from the previous Trump term in office.
Yes.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah, we have to do this once per Trump.
Which seems like
So
forever
hopefully
ago.
this is the
so-
last one.
Well, it's the last one. It's just never going to end.
I just love the
so.
fact.
That's right.
I just think it's funny because Eric the Half B it's from the Monty Python albums. It was never even on like the show. The sketch that led into the song was on the show, but the song wasn't on the show. It was only on the Monty Python albums. So even by Monty Python standards, it's a little obscure, and yet we have 2 parodies of it. Because we're nerds.
Yes, and when I sang it at Barry's party, I knew for a fact this is the first and last time I'll ever do this in front of anybody who has any idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah, probably.
The other thing I was wondering about, like your creative / production choices. Sometimes on your songs you like chipmunk your voice, and sometimes you don't. Like, what leads you to make that choice? Is it just because, like, well, this needs to be wackier, so I make it chipmunk?
Here's coin. Wacky. I don't really have it. I just try it sometimes, as if I'd never done it before. I wish I had better answers for these questions, but really I don't know what I'm doing.
I just want to point out that Chuck in the chat has said it has been a long and difficult process helping Steve with his graphics. So,
yes, it has. Yes, it has. She's very brave.
What were you going to say, Luke?
Yeah, because you're there. Earlier, you're like, need help with the graphics. It's like, yes, if only you had like a superhero sidekick who did amazing artwork or something.
Thank God. Thank God. It's not just artwork. She helps with some elements of it, but then I slap 4 million things into one frame, and then she helps me make sense of it.
We call that in the art industry a client. So,
or in the music industry, a bozo.
I want a life-size cardboard cutout of that FuMP logo, that anthropomorphic FuMP logo she did. Like, yes. I want a life-size cardboard cutout of that. So, yeah, so we can pose with it and take pictures.
And I believe it might have been Insane Ian. Somebody in the comment thread suggested the name FuMP-Chan, and that's the one I want. I think that's no, it's FuMP-Chan, CHAN.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also, it'd be cool if somebody like cosplayed as that character, but
yes. Oh, we got to do that. Somebody's got to do that.
Anyway, we got to get back. We need to get back to Steve's song. So, Steve,
yes, by all means.
I was going to ask just because I'm curious, because back in the day, for the chipmunk thing to work, they had to record themselves singing it in their regular registers and then speed it up to match the pitch. So with technology now, is that just like hitting F7, like here, make it chipmunk, and then it just happens?
No, because I still have to sing in key with something. So, you know what I mean? You have to, if you're going to chipmunk something, you have to slow it down, sing, and then speed up. I can't just sing it without anything, because it won't be in key with anything if I do that. So, short answer, no.
Well, these are the kind of things that fascinate me. It's
and me. It's like, always very interesting, particularly with a song like that. There's no click track. There is really no tempo. But I always try to put on a grid of some sort, so that adding percussion or whatever becomes easier and more solid. But you start pitch shifting with tempo changes, and you just lose your mind in Pro Tools. So that's fun.
Yeah, I never realized that about that song.
What, that it's chipmunky?
No, that it's like doesn't have like a set tempo.
Well, once it gets going, it does.
Yeah, once it gets to the chords, it has. Once it gets to the chords,
there's a lot of it that isn't that part.
Yeah, that beginning part. Okay, yeah.
And then, of course, I added the theme to "I Love Lucy" for no reason at the end.
Well, you gotta. I mean, it's only natural.
She's Lucy. She's half Desi. Hey!
Hey!
I just thought of that.
And now there's going to be 3 parodies of the song on the phone.
You're welcome. Does that no, not if it means another Trump term. No. I take it back. Take it back. He's Eric. He's Offspring 3. Hey!
We can do this all night, folks.
I don't even know if that's true. Is he the second or third?
Who knows? I don't know.
Who cares? Yeah.
I just found out recently
Donald,
there's another one. There's a girl who like just turned 18 who I never heard of before.
Right. If Donald can't keep track of them, why should I?
Yeah, right? Anyway.
Sometimes I wonder if Barron Trump, like, because we never hear about him, at least not anymore. I wonder, like, is he a decent human being and they just don't want people to know that he exists anymore?
Probably
like
not, although fingers crossed. I hope they named him Barron so he wouldn't have any kids.
That thought crossed my mind as well.
Well, we'll find out. All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug?
But thank goodness for Dr. Demento being around.
All the crap I'm doing is on stevegoodie.com. If I ever, it's on my list to update website. It's going to happen as soon as I finish this art stuff. So stevegoodie.com for all your Steve Goodie needs. I'll be emceeing the Provincetown Cape Cod Portuguese Festival the last weekend of June. So come one, come all. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I understand there may be drinking.
All right, cool. I know you need to head out, so we will be moving on. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
We will catch you next time.
Bump on.
Bye.
All righty. Bye.
Bye.
This is the FuMP.
Cause she said, baby, there's so much more, just wait. Come on in, everybody. My wife's into 5 ways, and I was excited, but this feels wrong. If I had it my way, we'd have invited some girls along.
When I fell head over heels for Billy Squire and the heavenly harmony of Billy's choir, I'd get it on with Bob Seger too, just as long as Bob Seger too. Oh, don't get me started on Carly Simon. Don't get me started on Carly Simon.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Second week of deer camp, drinking the beer.
Open up the door, it's Dave.
Man, Dave's not here.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, some sad news from the other day. Rick Derringer passed away. He's best known in the public eye as the author of Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo and Hang On Sloopy, but around here, he's best known for producing Weird Al Yankovic's first 6 albums. Al released a brief statement about it saying, quote, "I'm very sad to say that my friend, rock guitar legend Rick Derringer has passed. Rick produced my first 6 albums and played guitar on my earliest recordings, including the solo on Eat It. He had an enormous impact on my life and will be missed greatly. R.I.P." So rest in peace, Rick. Devo Spice's Patreon has been updated. What? Yes, we are finally now on the new monthly plan that's going on, and I wanted to run down the rewards because I and the levels and everything because I changed them all. So right now, for $1 per month, you will get a shout out on Manic Mondays. This is a monthly thing, and access to our new Discord server. The Discord server is now up and running as of yesterday. I got it set up. If you're already a Patreon member, check out patreon.com/DevoSpice for the invite link, and please do join us over there. We've been having some fun. And I wanted a low entry-level intro price just so people could support me and join the Discord even if they can't afford or justify any of the higher tiers. So $1 a month gets you into the Discord and on the thank you shout-outs. $5 a month is what I call all the podcasts, which gets you Manic Mondays bonus content, which is roughly monthly outtakes. And I've started doing what I call mini-sodes every 2 weeks, give or take. So I just posted a new one of those today to the backers. So if you're into the Manic Mondays, that's a good thing to do. This also gets you weekly editions of The Insider, which is my monthly podcast. And this month's episode will be dropping tomorrow. But the weekly editions have already gone out to the Patreon backers. And you will get Random Acts of Horror 3 days early when I get around to recording another episode of that. For $10, you get all the things. which includes discounts on merch. What I'm going to do is every month I'm going to post a new discount code for Bandcamp, and you can apply it to whatever you need to buy. You will also get demos and early versions of new songs before they go public, including the shorts that I'm producing now. I'll be posting those to the Patreon before they go public. Yesterday I posted the updated mix of What's Up Spock with the fixed vocals for the Lower Decks verse, so that's available to the backers now. And I'll also be posting my short films and acting reel clips as they become available. $20 gets you an executive producer credit. So when we do the shout-outs, you will be specially thanked as executive producer. And for $50, you can sponsor an episode, have a 60-second ad run on the show, and but I have final say over whether or not it runs. So contact me first, because I don't want to be advertising somebody's Nazi memorabilia website or something like that. So contact me first. But for $50, you can sponsor the show. Information and everything is at patreon.com/DevoSpice. And join us. Have some fun. And speaking of Patreons, Wolves of Glendale have also updated their Patreon. They only have 3 tiers. I've got like 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5. They only have 3. They have $5, $10, and $25 tiers. You can get perks like song downloads, exclusive podcast episodes, audio stems, exclusive Discord badges, and more. They are at patreon.com/Wolves of Glendale. And the 3rd episode of their podcast was recently released. All right. The FuMPCast in documentary Indiegogo campaign is up to $3,886, which is 57% of the way to their $6,700 goal. So they are past the midway point and on their way home. So head over to Indiegogo.com and search for FuMPFest, and you will find it. And finally, the FuMP newsletter for May went out the other day, which talks about the documentary, the FuMP Volume 110, featured videos, and more. If you're not on our mailing list, you can join at thefump.com, or you can view it online at tiny.cc/FuMP0525 for May of 2025. tiny.cc/FuMP0525. All right. And that's it for news. You got anything before tour dates?
Yes, I have a couple bits of news. Actually, read the tour dates, and then I'll come back with that.
Okay. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goodie hosting at the Bluebird. Sundays online, 2 Sleeps. Last Sunday of each month on Facebook, Lauren Mayer. Mondays online, Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Wednesdays in San Francisco, California, Ben Vicini. On the 30th in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. On the 30th in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 30th through the 1st in Charlotte, North Carolina, Mikey Mason. The 1st on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab, featuring the Consortium of Genius. On the 4th in Voorheesville, New York, Drew Jacobs. On the 6th in Sacramento, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 6th in Baldwin, Missouri, Mikey Mason. On the 6th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. On the 7th in Delmar, New York, Drew Jacobs. On the 7th in Visalia, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. And on the 8th on YouTube, Escape from the Secret Lab, featuring the Consortium of Genius. And my eyes have decided to make everything blurry for no reason right now, so I'm having trouble reading. But anyway, what were you going to say, Luke?
I was going to say that the hold on a second. Gotta finish doing that. So I think I mentioned this last week. I wanted to mention it again just because I do have the correct URL in front of me. There is an online magazine called the Journal of Wordplay, and Journal of Wordplay number 9 came out recently with articles about both myself and about Steve Goodie. So go to journalofwordplay.com and look for what I believe right now is the most recent issue, which is number 9. And you can read through it's a whole PDF magazine full of articles. And I think the article with me is like 15 pages long. He basically took a whole conversation we had over over Zoom, and T. Campbell, that is, and just had the AI, turn the whole thing into text words, and and then cleaned it up a little bit and added some images and stuff like that. So so that is a thing I wanted to plug for all of y'all. The other thing I want to plug, which I'm double checking on to make sure there isn't anything else I'm forgetting. Oh, of course, I should plug Luke Ski's Animation and Stuff podcast number 4 finally was released, and this episode features guest Carrie Dolby. So it's a Bad Rapport reunion with Carrie and I. We talk about a Minecraft movie, and we talk about the new animated series number 1 Happy Family USA on Amazon Prime. So go to your favorite podcasty thingy and search for Luke Ski's Animation Stuff podcast. I think there was an issue with Spotify. I need to go back and make an edit to it before, so I can have the thing still be up there. But in any case, if you need to go straight to the source, go to luke.ski/podcast, and you can get it there. So yeah, there's that. And one final thing I will mention is that one of the things I did when I was with Kalani over Memorial Day weekend is, if those of you who have listened to the show for a long time know that there have been plenty of times in the past few months where Devo and the other guests are trying to talk to me, and suddenly my sound would just completely disappear and not be there anymore, and I would have to futz with my mixing board to try to get things to work so they could hear me. Well, it turned out that the reason why that was happening is because the mixer I was using, this Yamaha from the mid-2000s, the power cord that was plugging into it basically started fraying and crapping out on me, and then it finally got to the point the other day where it stopped working. So we went to Guitar Center, and I managed to find a new mixer board that actually had a preamp built into it. It's smaller and basically easier to use. It's just what I need. So I've been testing it out this week. I recorded episode 4 with it, and the things we're about to watch with the other interviews. So it all works. So what I decided to do, just for the sake of making something potentially happen, is I threw the old mixing board and preamp onto eBay in an attempt to sell them, and I specifically set up the eBay listing so that it ends at 7 p.m. Pacific time, basically in 1 week, so that the bidding for this will end during next week's FuMPCast. So during next week's FuMPCast live, we can basically call the shots, as a potential bidding war may happen. So far, nobody's. Well, okay, one person has bid on it, and I believe that's Danny Chamberlain from Mid-South Con. The starting price on this, and just to be clear, the mixing board itself works. It's just the power cord that's messed up. So if you actually want to use it, you just need to figure out a replacement power cord for it. I didn't feel like doing that, but and then also the tube amp, which also works. One of the rubber parts of a button is missing, but the button still works and functions. So yeah, the stuff still works. You just need a new power cord for the mixing board. But if you're just wanting to own a piece of Luke Ski history, because this mixing board and preamp are the ones I've primarily been using to record all my comedy songs and podcasts, since about 2008 or so. So if you want to own it, complete with all the dust and cat hair on it, you can get it. Or if you buy it and you want me to clean them off before I send them to you, I can do that too. It's up to you. But starting bid is $13.27, which I set, and apparently Danny Chamberlain has bid at least that much. And the shipping on it, I'm going to use USPS priority mail in one of their fixed price boxes, so it'll only be $26.30 to send it, to anywhere in the continental U.S. So there you go. I wish eBay had a really nifty tiny URL system to make it easy, but they don't. So what I just did just now is both on my Blue Sky account and on my 2 Facebook accounts, I have just posted the link to it. So look for my post either from 3 days ago or from today, where I'm advertising this. Or if you want to go to eBay itself, look for Yamaha Mixing Console MG10/2 plus ART Professional Tube Mic Preamp and then Lukeski at the end of it. And my eBay handle is just The Great Lukeski, all is one word, big shocker. So if you want to bid on it, go nuts. and honestly, this isn't about me trying to make a ton of money back. I just thought, well, it's just going to sit in my stuff forever. I might as well sell it in case somebody wants it. So even if only one other person bids and it goes for $13.28, I don't care. This isn't about making money, at least not in any major way. So I just figured I'd do this for fun and, see if I would get surprised and somebody. I set the buy it now price at $300. At least I thought I did. I don't see it here. That's strange. Oh well. Anyway, the point is, yeah, that's a thing. You can go do it. And that's it.
All right, cool. Let's move on to our second song of the week. A new one by Insane Ian. Here is Woke Marxist Pope.
White smoke is blowing out in Rome. Seems the Vatican has gone and chosen a new pope. And I heard that MAGA found his tweets, and from the things he said online, their meltdown is complete. He's very anti-gun, corrected J.D. Vance, and just like Jesus says, he loves the immigrants. Although I wish that he supports LGBT, won't make old MAGA proud. I know they're gonna scream, God, what have you done? He's a woke Marxist pope, and he can't stand Trump. Oh, MAGA, you must be so pissed, 'cause he preaches the word, and he's not a racist, so they call him woke Marxist pope. I'm gonna keep on laughing as the woke Marxist pope pisses off the maggots 'cause he's from Chicago. I'm gonna keep on clapping for the woke Marxist pope, woke Marxist pope. And now their jaws are on the floor. Who'd have thought the Pope has advocated for the poor? And I heard he's met with Zelensky 'cause he's avoiding another fatal meeting with JD. They lost their minds when he held mass and spoke Latin. They wished it was English 'cause he's American. Addresses climate change, aid for the Gaza Strip. With every word he speaks, he makes the MAGAs flip. God, what have you done? This woke Marxist pope loves immigration, no MAGA. He's kinda centrist, but he preaches man love. So you think he's leftist, so you call him woke Marxist pope. I'm gonna keep on laughing as the woke Marxist pope pisses off the maggots 'cause he's pro-love and hope. I'm gonna keep on laughing for the woke Marxist pope, woke Marxist pope. Now don't think that I think he's perfect. The cases of abuse from priests he handled with neglect. And don't get me started on pro-life, but somehow this has not won him his fans among the right, saying, God, what have you done? He's a woke Marxist pope, and he hates our freedoms. Oh, MAGA, please give it a rest. Tell me when as a priest, never been progressive, still you call him woke Marxist pope. I'm gonna keep on laughing as the woke Marxist pope pisses off the maggots 'cause Jesus is woke. I'm gonna keep on laughing for the woke Marxist pope, woke Marxist pope.
I am here with Insane Ian. How you doing, Ian?
I'm good. Hello.
I am also here with Insane Ian.
Yay, all of us are here.
No,
in a
Luke, the
land
correct
that is
response
totally
is,
live.
and now I'm in this too.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. And now I'm in this too.
There you go.
It's usually Devo's line, so that's how you miss it. You know?
Yeah.
Before we jump in, do I sound good on your end?
Yes,
Yes.
you do.
Cool. I will explain the reason for me asking that later. But we need to talk to Ian right now.
We do need
Ian,
to talk
I
to
understand
Ian.
you've been up to things recently.
I have. So thank you for that totally unprompted question. As you guys know, I work as an extra occasionally, trying to get other gigs as a speaking role actor. But the other day I was working on a show that was filming in Chicago for only about a week. I did 2 days on that show. The first day I worked as a stand-in, which is a little different than being an extra. As a stand-in, basically they say, well, you're the same height as our actor that you're standing in for. We're going to give you an outfit that kind of matches the outfit that they're going to wear on camera. And then when we're setting up the camera shot and the lights and whatever, you go stand in their spot and do the motions that they would do. Watch them rehearse the scene and then go and be in their space. So that we can get the cameras and eye lines right and everything. And then we can call the actors back into the shot and have them do their scene. You get paid a little bit more than you get paid as an extra to do this. I can't really say what show I was on, but the person I stood in for was Sean Cullen from Corky and the Juice Pigs.
Really? Nice.
So Sean Cullen is a comedian in his own right, just outside of Corky and the Juice Pigs.
Yeah,
Very
his
funny
album is
comedian.
amazing. It's absolutely
his
amazing.
stuff's great. I've been a big fan of his, and like he came over and he introduced himself, and like as I'm sitting there, he came over and he goes, "Oh yeah, clearly, you are my stand-in. There's such a striking resemblance between the two of us. Here I am, big beard, and him, clean shaven and in a suit." And I was like, "Yeah, it's like you're my doppelganger." And I'm like thinking to myself, "This guy looks really familiar. Why can I not place him?" And this show normally is filming in Toronto, but the series takes place in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So they were in Chicago for a week to get exterior shots. So I look at my sides and the call sheet on the front of it, and it says Sean Cullen. I went, holy shit. And I was like, I just recognized you. I'm a huge Corky and the Juice Pigs fan. I'm a huge fan of your work. So we chatted a little bit about stuff, and that was really cool.
And then you talked him into joining the FuMP.
I wish. I couldn't talk to him too long, so unfortunately was not able to get any of that out. But a couple days later, we were filming at Wrigley Stadium during a Cubs versus White Sox game. We were filming during the game. I was working as an extra this time, and I can't say what show it was, but the lead of another show that this is a spin-off of and the lead of this show were spotted in the stands because, we were filming there, and it wound up during the Cubs broadcast. So during the Cubs broadcast, you see these two leads, you have people speculating what show it is, but 2 seats down, literally 2 seats down from the leads, you see me. So I wound up on TV before I wound up on TV.
Nice.
Now, I assume this is one of those procedural type shows. So I'm curious, Sean Cullen's character, does he get killed by the food of his choice?
I wish it was by the food of his choice. I cannot say what happens to Sean Cullen's character, but it is a brief encounter.
No, hopefully he doesn't end up in a shitstorm.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just going to name drop all of my favorite Sean Cullen songs.
Please do.
The entire time I was sitting there, running through my head was, "Don't put a pickle on my burger, 'cause it reminds me of my girl," just over and over on a loop in my head.
The things that comedian fans get stuck in their heads.
Right? And then like after that I saw OCT and Kyle Gordon in concert, which was amazing. And they recognized me from my reaction videos, which was
Cool.
super nice. OCT gave me this shirt for free.
Nice.
And And Kyle Gordon and I talked about Ian Lockwood a little bit because they both know each other. Kyle stayed with Ian when Ian fell down the mountain. He stayed with him before the helicopter came to rescue him and take him off.
Oh, he was skiing with him?
He was skiing with him.
Wow, okay.
And so, like, Kyle stayed with him down in the mountain to make sure he was, still awake and all that stuff, and before the helicopter came to rescue him, so I thanked him for that, and, we talked about Ian a little bit. And it was a very, very cool week, so.
Nice. That's awesome.
Neat things.
Neat things going on behind the scenes.
Yes. And, of course, I also released the short version of this song, which prompted me to do the full version that you just heard.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. You did this as a short first.
Yeah. I was basically really trying to jump on the idea of this song. Lauren Loomer posted "Woke Marxist Pope" in response to something that he had tweeted a while ago, and she was calling him woke and Marxist. Number one, I don't think she could define what Marxism is. But regardless, this became the battle cry for them, and everybody else thought it was ridiculous. And two different tweets that happened on the same day, on the 8th of May, both said, "Woke Marxist Pope," but sung to the tune of Pink Pony Club. And I went, I have to do this. So I contacted Ben. I was like, Ben, I want to get this song out really quickly while this is in the zeitgeist, while this is a popular thing that people are talking about. And he's like, all right, we'll do just the first verse and chorus, because that's A, all I have time for, and B, that seems like that should be enough. And he's like, I'm going to add organs to it to kind of give it this kind of like church feel. Rather than just doing like just a straight copy of the music. And I was like, that's perfect. He did that. I shot a real quick blue screen video for it, or green screen video, and I posted it to the various things. YouTube does this weird thing where YouTube says shorts can be up to 3 minutes. But if you post anything to shorts that's over a minute, it automatically gets listed in your YouTube studio as a regular video instead of a short.
Really? Because the snack bar video I just posted is like 1:12, and it's still listed under shorts.
For whatever reason, for me, anything over a minute goes to the regular videos. If it's a minute and under, it's in shorts. I don't know why. So I actually technically posted this twice in the same day on YouTube. I posted a 60-second version and then the 97-second version that's on TikTok and Instagram. I posted it as a regular video, and both of those blew up on YouTube, blew up on Instagram, did decent on TikTok, and people were asking for a full version. So I contacted Ben to finish out the track, and we got that recorded and obviously out for you all. It hit my Patreon before it hit the FuMP by a day, and managed to get this all figured out.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, these shorts seem to be, both of us have been doing shorts recently, and they're doing pretty well. At least the ones that I've posted have been doing orders of magnitude better than anything else I've ever posted.
Shorts tend to do that, and I find it fascinating, and it's also all dependent on when during the day you post them.
Oh, really? Because I posted Snack Bar last night, like in the evening.
Yeah, and it's I posted a short for "It's Hard Out Here for a Temp" featuring Carrie Dalby, another guest this week. I posted that yesterday at about 5 o'clock. And yesterday it didn't do great, and then I woke up this morning and it had already crossed. I think I'm in 2,000 views now on YouTube. Let's see. No, 1.5. But it was better than yesterday, because yesterday when I went to bed it was like 300.
Yeah.
So it definitely jumped up.
See, I'm used to posting a video and getting like 35 views. So when I see a video that's getting over 1,000, I'm like, oh, like people are seeing this, you know?
Yeah. And one of the key things to keep in mind for the engagement, at least on YouTube, is connecting it to, if it already has a music video that exists, make sure you connect that when you're setting it up, so that if they want to see the full thing, they can click that and go over and see the full thing and hear the full song or whatever.
Oh, you know what? I should make a short of Wet Ass Pussycat and then link to the full version at the end of it.
You absolutely should. But because that's on a different channel, I don't know if you can.
That's true. I don't know.
Because that's not on your regular Devo Spice channel. That's on the Devo Spice Vivo channel.
Yes. You're right, I might not be able to.
These are doing really well on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram. So I'm trying to do these a little bit more often than you are. I'm trying to do these at least 2 or 3 a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday I had been doing them, and then I started working on my Comedy Musician Reacts videos again for Fridays, so I was only doing them Mondays and Wednesdays. But still trying to do them pretty often. Just to get more things out. And I'm actually seeing a lot of dividends on the returns for this, too. I did a short for Let's Get Silly, which I did the first verse of Let's Get Silly. And I had originally had big plans of doing it on a playground where I'm hanging upside down, but the camera doesn't show that I'm upside down, and the camera flips midway through the pullback. But I wasn't able to do it because I wasn't able to find a good enough jungle gym to hang on in my
We have
area.
one here if you want to come visit.
Yeah, a little bit of a commute.
Yeah.
A little bit of a commute.
We offer stands if you want to come.
Sure. But instead, I just filmed it while I was driving, so it starts on my face and it pulls out, and you see I've got a seatbelt on, and so I'm rapping while I'm driving to wherever I was driving from. And that short has done super, super well. A lot of really great comments on it on YouTube. People saying this sounds like the Stupendium. This sounds like you should be an ERB. Because it's some of my favorite bars that I've written in that first verse. People really love the people call me Hadouken because I'm downright fierce. They love that line, so a lot of comments about that. And because of that, I'm now seeing a lot of listens for that song on Spotify. Let's Get Silly. The listens for that song on Spotify have jumped up, so that's nice too.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So if this shorts trend keeps up in a couple years, the Logan Award ceremony will only be 20 minutes long.
Yeah, basically.
Well, what's funny is we've had a couple artists who only do shorts get nominated the past couple of years. Matt Storer, who is a British comedian who usually does hip hop songs in his sets, in his stand-up sets, has been doing these really, really short parodies that he does for his shorts. He doesn't have any videos on his channel that are more than a minute long. He's got a couple that are like a minute and 15, minute and 30 from a couple years ago, maybe 1 3-minute song. But everything that he's been posting has usually been these shorter parody songs, and 2 of them have been nominated the past 2 years. And Carla Ulbricht's song this past Logan Awards was from a short.
Yeah, that's right.
Matt Storer has started to post original songs in the hip-hop style that he usually does live, and those songs also have been doing really amazing for his channel. But he is exclusively doing just short songs, which is the project that I have been working on doing myself, which is the short song project, which I'm getting back to soon. Too many ideas for things. I've got like 4 albums right now. That's just,
Preaching to the choir, dude.
I realize that.
All right. So do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Of course. I have my Patreon, patreon.com/insaneian, where you get to hear any of the music that I'm releasing before I actually release it, as well as all the videos that I release. They hit my Patreon first. Polls will be up there about various and sundry other things. You get downloads. You get sometimes rare versions. You sometimes get high-quality versions of downloads. I released the instrumental to the short version of Woke Marxist Pope on my Patreon, and they got to hear the song before anybody else. And sometimes I do exclusive reactions over there, but sometimes the reactions just hit there over there early before they hit the main channel. So if you're really fiending for what my opinion is on a reaction, you can always check it out over at patreon.com/InsaneIan. And of course, my music can be found at insaneian.bandcamp.com. And if you just want to see everything like everybody else without seeing it early, you can see all the things at youtube.com/InsaneIan.
All right.
And
Thank
if
you,
you
sir.
want to hear Insane Ian's opinion on the movie The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, you can listen to episode 3 of Lukeski's Animation and Stuff podcast.
And if you just want to hear my voice randomly in any other episode of those, I'm the announcer on Luke's
Yay.
Animation and Stuff podcast, so you can just check me out on any episode. But if you want to hear my opinions, episode 3.
All right. Thank you, sir. And we will catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio. www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback.
Draconis alert. Draconis alert. Draconis alert.
Draconis wrote, with all the songs about Dr. D on here, is there going to be a compilation album released soon? Not soon. I don't know that we have enough songs for a full compilation album, but that might be something we do in the future at some point. So maybe, but not soon.
It occurred to me, over the 50-year history of the show, I think there are enough tribute songs to Dr. Demento that he could do a whole episode of the Dr. Demento show with tribute songs to Dr. Demento.
Probably, yeah. And that's all the feedback we got. So we can move on to the third song of the week, which is the new one by Carrie Dalby. Here is Pina Colada, the White Lotus song.
Hooray!
I was tired of our mansion. I guess we needed a break. We came to White Lotus, Thailand. That was a major mistake. My wife and young adult children are with me at this resort. But we're gonna be broke soon, 'cause money I did extort. But we'll have pina coladas and world-class dining tonight. Spa massages and yoga and some murder delight. If you like making love with strangers and some brotherly love, then come on down to White Lotus. Try not to slip on the blood. Belinda worked hard in Maui. Then Tanya crushed all her dreams. Now she's training in Thailand. White Lotus is never what it seems. So she's sleeping with porn chai until Zion walks in. Will Tanya's widower kill her or make her fortune begin? So drink your pina coladas. I made them for our family. If you're 21 or older, I added exotic seeds. We better pack our bags at midnight before the shootout takes shape. Almost a week at White Lotus. Chelsea knows Rick ain't happy, but she doesn't know why. He's gonna meet Jim in Bangkok. Jim, you killed my father, prepare to die. But then Rick doesn't do it until White Lotus Jim comes. Turns out Jim is Rick's father, murdered by his lost son. So grab your pina coladas and turn up your TVs. We love Jennifer Coolidge, Walton Goggins, yes please. I wish I had $1 million and a bulletproof vest, so I could visit White Lotus season 4 in Key West.
I am here with Carrie Dalby. How you doing, Carrie?
I'm okay. How are you?
Doing good. And we're here with Luke again. Hi, Luke.
And now I'm in this too.
There you go. Got it right this time. What'd you say, Carrie?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Lag.
Lag, yes, indeed.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's significant. Okay.
Yeah, nothing I can do about it. My internet sucks, and I have no other options as far as providers go. So
yeah. It could be from my end because I was having this problem.
So tell us about this song you posted.
Oh, have you already listened to it?
I have, yes.
As in the podcast?
Yes, the podcast we've already played it.
Okay, so everyone's already heard it. Okay, so hopefully 99% of you watch White Lotus and are completely caught up on it. I think I might have that percentage a little bit wrong, but
I've never seen it, so
it's a very popular thing.
I know it's a very popular thing, but it's not very popular with nerds. So it was kind of one of those things where, okay, so the season finale played, it was like at least 6 weeks ago. About 36 hours later, I was watching Jon Stewart on The Daily Show, and he made a joke about White Lotus and pina coladas, and then the song idea popped into my head, and I just went immediately to get a FuMP slot, and then of course the closest FuMP slot was May 20th, so which is not when I posted it, but it's near to when I posted it. So, it's one of those things where, it's great and very hilarious for people who watch and are caught up with the show. As I already found out with one individual who commented on my Facebook. And for everybody else, it's like, okay, whatever. Also, I'm gonna say it's acapella, not by artistic choice, but for financial reasons.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why you did that. I mean, it sounds beautiful. You did a great job.
Since I don't make my own instrumentals, and I didn't want to pay for one.
Understandable.
I could, take a few minutes to explain like the premise and formula of the show itself, and then explain the pina colada part. But it would be major spoilers. So,
well, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't watch the show, so that's up to you.
Well, let me say, Before you start into that, I just wanted to say that so I have seen at least 4 significant like parodies of White Lotus. I think the first was on Saturday Night Live where they did Black Lotus, where it was like Keenan and all them, making fun of white people. Then there was The Simpsons did an episode, or at least a segment of an episode called Yellow Lotus. Then Saturday Night Live did it again, except it was like Trump and his whole cabinet were all the people there. And
That's
then
what I saw.
yeah, and then most recently Family Guy did a whole episode called Fat Lotus. So it's kind of like
God, I might have to watch that.
so now it's like I've seen 4 different parodies of this thing, and it's like it basically means it falls under the category of this is something that Luke probably should be paying attention to in pop culture, but as you said, it doesn't really seem to be, other than the fact that Jennifer Coolidge is in it. There's not much about it that makes me really want to take the effort to tune in and watch it.
I mean, it's kind of like, I think the kind of people that would enjoy a really well written and well produced soap opera would probably enjoy White Lotus. But, there's more to it than just that. There's really incredible cinematography. So if you're sitting there watching it on like a really big screen, you're like kind of transported, to the beach, whatever the beach location is of that season. And there's definitely some funny moments, especially, Jennifer Coolidge's character is like a nonstop laugh riot because she's hilarious and talented. But
one thing I learned from your song is that the show White Lotus takes place in Thailand because
that's only season 3.
Hmm?
That's only season 3.
Oh, okay. Because it seemed to me like everything I had seen, like promotion for the White Lotus, like there's no Taiwanese people anywhere. These are all white people.
Taiwanese. Wouldn't the Taiwanese be from Taiwan and not Thailand?
Yeah, you're right. I think they're just called the Thai people.
Yes.
The mom of the dad who I'm singing about in the song does that very thing in season 3 where she refers to it as Taiwan while she's sitting there in Thailand. Also, I myself have in the past accidentally called it Thailand to my friend who fucking lives in Taiwan while she's sitting in Taiwan reading a message from me calling it Thailand, which I like. That was like 12, 13 years ago, and I'm still embarrassed. I don't know. But anyway. So here's okay, so season 1 takes place in Maui. Season 2 takes place in shit. I want to say Sicily, like southern Italy. And season 3 takes place in Thailand. So White Lotus is the name of a chain of resorts for like, people with a lot of money to blow on a really fancy, swanky vacay. So each season, focuses on a lot of different characters, but mostly it's, tourists, a little bit of locals, and a little bit of employees, but they'll go back and forth between the different storylines. But it's always, for the tourists, they're always staying there for 1 week, and they're always staying there for like the same week. It's all formulaic. The exact same thing happens every season. At the beginning of each season, it starts at the end of the timeline and shows you that there has been a death and there's a body, or more, at least one body. Alex, I'm literally recording the FuMPCast right now. Oh. Just grab the shirt and get out of here. No, grab the shirt and get out of here. No. Hi, Starlight. I've switched pets. Oh, no, I guess the cat must be under the bed. Shit.
Come here. And you want Starlight to interrupt FuMPCast.
Thank you. I'll take you outside in a few minutes. Soon outside.
Barbara Dalby, soon to be featured in the FuMPFest
That was
documentary.
not Barbara. That was Alexander.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyways, so you see, people are upset. There's been a murder. There's some chaos. And then they jump. I'm sorry, I'll be out in a few minutes. That's my dog. Then they jump
Yeah,
back
mine are
to
doing the
the
same thing to me.
They jump back to the beginning of the week when, the tourists are first arriving, and then everything's chronological from that point. But then, it's basically like a murder mystery where you don't even know yet. It's not, well, it's kind of like a murder mystery in reverse. There's going to be a murder, but you don't know who's getting murdered, and you don't know who the murderer is. And then, everything else is just in all these like interpersonal relationships and, weird interactions and sex of all kinds and nudity and stuff.
All right, I'm watching. Let's go. I'll be caught up by the time this episode airs.
It's not only straight sex.
Yeah.
And it's well, famously season 3 has an incest scene, which is why I made a lyric where I sing about brotherly love.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I'll be out in a few minutes. So, now this is really gonna be kind of embarrassing because I don't remember the name of the family that the character names. But I'll just call it, dad and mom and the kids. But the kids are all young adults. There's like a 24-ish-year-old guy, a 21-year-old gal, and like an 18-year-old guy who just graduated high school. And there's a mom and a dad, and they're all from, I don't know, New Jersey, we'll say. I don't know where they're from, but they're of course quite well off, and they're all dependent on dad, who makes big bucks doing mysterious finance stuff. Well, shortly after he arrives in Thailand, he learns that his illegal activities have been discovered by the FBI. The FBI wants to talk to him while he's in Thailand. Reporters want to talk to him while he's in Thailand. And he realizes he's going to lose everything and go to jail. But the people at White Lotus, this is the first time I saw this happen, that they offered to take everyone's phones and store them away for the week. So at the whole family ends up doing it and letting White Lotus take all their phones. So then he's just kind of there to brew in his own, thoughts without actually having to talk to these people. But then he also gets addicted to his wife's anti-depression or anti-anxiety or benzos or whatever it is that she has. He kind of steals it, and she thinks she lost it, but it's actually him that's taking it for like the whole week. And he, as he talks more and more to his family, he comes to the conclusion that no one can live without their high money lifestyle except for his 18-year-old son. So, and then at one point, he's just randomly getting an education about Thailand and from someone who works there, and they teach him about some plant that has some seeds in it that are known as like the suicide seeds or something. because people will eat them if they want to die. So he gathers up a bunch of these seeds, puts them in the blender that they've all been using in their um, room all week, and offers pina coladas to the whole family, but not to his son because he's not 21 yet. And his son is like, "Come on," So the other four are standing there about to drink their pina coladas on the last night of the trip, and suddenly he changes his mind and bats them out of everyone's hand, and they all fall on the ground and glass breaks and goes everywhere, and he makes up some dumb reason why he did that. And then later on, the son finds the remnants. The 18-year-old finds the remnants left in the blender and makes himself his own pina colada, and almost dies as a result. Well, he literally I think he literally dies but comes back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't end up being the official murder of the season, but so that's why it's silly to sing about pina coladas and White Lotus. Now you know.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That sounds pretty cool, actually. I'm familiar with the original song from when I was a kid. It was some song that, I had no idea what a pina colada was. Obviously when I was 6 or 7 years old, but I'd walk around the house singing the song because I liked the song.
Yeah. Yeah, the original song is kind of subversive. Of course, most people know that the original is about a woman who's looking to cheat on her husband and puts out a personal ad in the newspaper, and then her husband is the one who answers it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get together, they have a good laugh, which I don't think is what would really happen, but sure.
The other thing about that song is
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing about that song is that the actual original title of that song is Escape, but nobody called it Escape. They just called it the Pina Colada song. So now it's known as
Escape, the Pina Colada song in parentheses.
Yes.
Yes, which is why I named mine Pina Colada, the White Lotus song in parentheses.
Gotcha. All right, well done.
And do at least one lyric about escape, where in the chorus where he always says escape at the same spot. Anyways, yeah, so it was fun to make, and it was just one of those things where I was my own target audience, but I just wanted to make it exist.
Hey, that's totally valid. I mean, that's what Luke and I do. So you'll find that you'll find people who have seen White Lotus and follow the FuMP. You will find that overlap.
I'm hoping to hear from more of them.
I parodied a sea shanty about Late Night with David Letterman from the 80s, so
Indeed, but I mean, everybody who lived through that time period saw Letterman at some point, and not everyone has seen White Lotus. Not everyone even has Max, or even Unfold Max, or many people have even boycotted having it on, which for J.K. Rowling related reasons, which I can get in support. Although I have an excuse to have Max is because Alex Ann appears in a documentary called Santa Here.
Oh, cool.
She's not credited, but
What's the title of the documentary again?
Santa Camp. So, yeah, it's more of a December thing.
I wanted to mention because just today, when we're recording this, I posted episode 4 of Luke Ski's Animation and Stuff podcast with Carrie as my guest, which was cool, and we talked about the Minecraft movie, which also features Jennifer Coolidge. And I wanted to say, I watched after we got done recording, I watched the YouTube channel Honest Trailers did a thing for the Minecraft movie, and at the end they changed, when they list off who's starring in it, they give everyone a funny name based on something else they've done. So for Jennifer Cooler, they listed her as the Pink Lotus.
That's completely fitting.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, because I referenced this in the episode, I talk about how when I think the character's name is Dawn, like flies through that door and like lands on the ground, and she starts saying, "Oh, my butt," and like she didn't land on her butt, and I pointed that out. After watching the Honest Trailers thing, because they showed that clip, I realized when she flies through the door, she smacks into Jason Momoa, and then he goes flying away, and then she lands. So her butt hit Jason Momoa.
Oh.
So that's why her butt hurt, because she hit a big slab of Aquaman beef and then fell on the ground. So that joke has a justification.
Yeah, and her name is Dawn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, but if you would like to hear us talk about
Kentucky art,
yeah, thank you. I spent a decent chunk of time making the and by the way, that I wasn't sure how you wanted the hair, so I just went with the way your hair looked in the photo that I grabbed for the thing where it's half pink and half greenish.
Makes sense. It's what my hair would probably look like if I wasn't, lazy and booked.
But yeah, drawing the chicken jockey, which actually looks like a duck, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And then drawing Hussein, the dad from number 1 Happy Family USA.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
you can
God.
hear us talk about both of those topics on the episode of Luke and Carrie's animation and rapport. So go check that out. And if you really like that one and the one with Ian, you can listen to episode 1 with Devo Spice, and then episode 2 with Tony, and then you've heard them all.
Indeed. Okay, I think I'm gonna go now and
All right.
walk my dog.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Thank you for making a song and posting it.
Okay. This song.
All right, then. That'll do.
That's all now.
All right. See you
All right,
later,
thank you, Carrie.
Well, and yes, but Luke already plugged it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah.
Teasing. Tomorrow's song is by Joe J. Thomas. And Tuesday's song is by Carla Ulbrich.
Woo-hoo!
And this week's
I wanted to say here, because Carrie...
Go ahead.
Carrie messaged me to say, when you're live again, say that Carrie wanted to add this. In my opinion, anyone that watches episode 1, season 1 of White Lotus will know by the end of the episode if they want to stick with it or not. So that was words from Carrie.
All right. And this week's Spotify playlist topic is Worm Quartet. We're going back to featuring FuMP artists. And when I saw that Carrie's interview was 20 minutes long, I was like, I'm going to set up the playlist. So it's already live. So that's a show. All right. You got anything else?
Getting it live. No, here, actually, wait, I do. Because you showed yours earlier, I'm going to show mine. So I have this Lego Brickheads thing of Bumblebee from Transformers, because they basically saw how well the pop vinyls were selling and came up with their own version of it. So
Does that actually transform?
This No, it's like robot form and car form.
Oh, okay.
Like you're getting 2 sets in one, basically.
Gotcha.
So no, that doesn't transform. They also made one for Optimus Prime. This one is an X-Wing fighter, and I actually found this at Midway Airport in Chicago when I was flying out for FuMPFest. So yeah, I've been holding on to this for a while, but I want to finish up. And then this was a Christmas gift from Kalani. This is the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels, also seen in some scenes of Rogue One in live action form. But yeah, I need to get those other 2 Star Wars ones. Plus, I also have over there. I already put them together. The Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter and Ahsoka's J6 Starfighter, and I want to put them. I want to hang them from the ceiling like I did my Millennium Falcon, so that all my cool Star Wars ships are over there. But Anyway, that's about it. So let's wrap up this episode.
All right. Steve Goodie is at stevegoodie.com. Insane Ian is at insaneian.bandcamp.com. And Carrie Dalby is at carriedalby.bandcamp.com. And let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and you've just won a next reward.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDEM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
La-dee-dee, he's so geeky. His name is the Great Luke Ski.
There, now we have a third one.